The correctional facility visiting room buzzed with fluorescent hum and low murmurs. Elias sat alone at a metal table, hands clasped, eyes fixed on the scuffed floor. When the guard finally brought his former bandmate in, the man looked smaller than Elias remembered, thinner, hollow-eyed, weighed down by something heavier than the shackles on his wrists. They sat across from each other in silence for a moment. "Been a while," his friend said, voice rough. "Yeah," Elias answered softly. "I haven't been easy to reach." His friend gave a humorless smile. "Neither have I." They shared a breath, the kind that comes from two people who used to be brothers in music, now separated by a gulf neither knew how to cross. Elias cleared his throat. "I've been talking to Dorian lately, from Attro City." His friend blinked. "I heard about Billy, the guitarist. What happened to him?" Elias leaned back, exhaling. "Dorian told me everything. They were opening for Pterodactyl on their last Latin American tour. Huge opportunity. They thought it was their moment. Global stardom, finally within reach." His friend nodded. "Billy was a monster player. That solo in Call of Allegiance? Man, that thing's a work of art." "Yeah," Elias said, eyes distant. "But on the first night of the tour, the crowd was brutal. When Billy stepped up for the solo, someone threw a peso. Hit him right in the forehead. He lost focus. Messed up the whole run." His friend winced. "For someone like him, that must have cut deep." "It did. After that, the night fell apart." Dorian snapped at the crowd. "They abandoned the arena. Billy spiraled hard. Depression hit him like a truck." Elias rubbed his palms together, remembering the tone in Dorian's voice when he'd told him the story. "Dorian called me," Elias continued, "asked me to fill in for the rest of the tour. I did. When we got back home, everything stalled. Billy wasn't getting better. They took turns visiting him, but it kept getting worse." His friend swallowed. "Then what happened?" "One day Dorian found him different, freshly showered, apartment spotless, smiling, talking about a new song, Book of Shadows. Said he read this story about Archibald Benson buying a cursed book for a music video and then being terrified of it ever since. Billy was excited, inspired." Elias shook his head slowly. "Then Dorian got a text from the label. Emergency meeting. Billy told him to go. Said he'd be fine. Dorian hugged him, promised he'd tell everyone Billy was back, that they were working on new material." His friend leaned forward, bracing himself. "At the meeting," Elias said, "the execs pushed to replace Billy. They recommended me. Said if Billy wasn't in the studio the next day, they'd force the change. Dorian refused. Fought them. But when he went back to Billy's apartment," Elias's voice cracked, "he found him unresponsive, holding a note." Silence settled between them like dust. His friend closed his eyes. "Billy was one of the sweetest guys I ever met. Always stayed after shows to talk to fans. He didn't deserve that." Elias nodded. "A few weeks later, someone broke into Archibald Benson's mansion. Stole the cursed book." His friend's eyes snapped open. "You're kidding." "No," Elias said. "And now, Attro City wants me to join permanently." His friend managed a small smile. "Good. Second Coming is gonna be on ice for a long time. I'm glad you're getting another shot." Elias hesitated, then leaned in. "I should have been there for you," he said quietly. "If I'd listened, if I'd been a better friend, maybe things wouldn't have gone the way they did." His friend shook his head sharply. "No, don't do that. What I did was that's on me. I tore my family apart. I carry that weight, not you." He looked down at his cuffed hands. "You visiting me? That means more than you know. Most people don't want anything to do with me now." Elias swallowed hard. "I'll come back." His friend nodded. "I'll be waiting. And hey, I can't wait to hear what you and Attro City make next." Elias stood, placing a hand on the table. A silent promise, a fragile bridge between past and future. Then the guard led his friend away. Elias pounded on the metal doors. "Open it! Something's wrong!" The road manager held him back. They told me to keep you out. You're a good man. You never joined the cruelty. The opening band arrived, frantic. We heard screaming. Let us help! The stadium floor shakes as the chasm widens, its molten glow pulsing like a heartbeat. Hellhounds burst through the smoke, jaws snapping, eyes burning orange. Marked fans, blank-eyed, glowing-marked, stumble helplessly as the hounds clamp onto clothing and drag them across the concrete toward the pit. Mateo watches in horror as one hound clamps onto Ramon's ankle and begins pulling him backward. Ramón claws at the floor, shouting Mateo's name. Without thinking, Mateo grabs a fallen steel pipe and swings with everything he has. The pipe cracks against the hound's skull. It snarls, releases Ramón, and recoils into the smoke. Before the next wave hits, a voice shouts from behind them, Move! I got the door! Inez, curly-haired, brown-skinned, mid-20s, hoodie half unzipped over a red t-shirt, jams a tree branch into the latch of a locked maintenance door. The wood glows faintly. With a twist, the lock snaps open. Mateo manages to help the injured Ramón through the door. Outside, they're met by the opening band and Elias, who rushes over. Inez immediately throws her arms around Elias. He stiffens, confused. How did you get out? He asks. Inez proudly holds up her glowing branch. Magic stick. Enchanted. Also, she leans in, eyes sparkling. You're even more handsome in person. Elias blinks, overwhelmed. We need to help the people inside. Nope, Inez fires back. They're cursed. Nothing we can do. If your magic opened the door... Magic? She snorts. I'm not a sorcerer. I just feel things. And whatever's in there, it's ancient. We need to run. She pats Elias's chest. You can come home with me if you want, but don't get ideas. Maddie's my favorite Attro City member, not you. At least let me borrow your magic tree branch then, negotiated Elias. This won't work for you. You are a Christian Catholic, as are most of the people here. It won't work if you don't believe in it, Inez explained. Elias opens his mouth to argue again, but the moment she sees a priest approaching, Inez steps back and gestures dramatically. Okay, cool. The pros are here. I'm done.